Recorded September 20th, 2023. Good afternoon, Andrea. Good afternoon, Rod. How are you?
Hello, friends.
Very, very good. Well, I'm trying to be nice, I guess. Very good. I'll leave it at that.
If you're trying to be nice, are you really nice?
If you're trying to be nice, you're being nice to other people.
Yeah, I'm nice. I'm benevolent of a sort, right? Not this week, though. I want to use the fist of death so bad, but I can't. Andrew told me not to use the fist of death. One thing I'm absolutely just getting, a little bit in my feelings about is Andrea always comes to the show, professional, dressed to the T. You and I look like we just
rolled out of whatever.
yeah, we got out of a nap and realized, oh, we got something to do. She stay tight now. She's not gonna come on the show shabby. I'm gonna up my game starting October. And October, and I guess we can put this out in public knowledge. Soon it will be a month of celebration of myself and Andrea's birthday.
Oh,
Right,
super.
Scorpio.
My actual birthday's in October.
Your actual birthday? Do you have a fake birthday?
Well, he was born again, I think. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I know that.
By the way, Trevor got your switches, Edward.
Hey, Trev. Thanks, man, for letting me know. I sort of forgot about them. I hope they are working. He said he planned on using them for an 8-node Raspberry Pi 4 8 gigabit cluster on VMware ESX 8.0 U1B, which speaks volumes because mine is still stuck on 7, maybe 6 something. So, but you are more than welcome, Trevor, friend of the show. I had some Meraki equipment. Wasn't obsolete. I just had some updates, and I decided to give it to the most tinkering man I know.
I had some Mr. T equipment.
Say what now?
I had Mr. T equipment. You had Meraki.
Yeah. And speaking of that, but anyway, we were starting off. Andrew, how was your week so far? This is Wednesday.
It is, man. I wish it was Friday already. It has been, I don't know, like busy, but not doing anything. You ever have those? It's like, I feel like I'm busy every second of the day, but not accomplishing anything. So
I was at a Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock show, and they had some opening acts before they went. And one of the comedians, I forget her name, she was absolutely funny. She's been on Netflix herself. She has a show on either Netflix. Well, she's on Netflix. She's on Netflix. And she said the most funny thing. She said she was dating a guy, and he was always busy, but broke. How can you be so busy, be broke? That doesn't add up, right? But yeah, you're right. It just seems like it's just stuff, and I feel overwhelmed, and I can't get the balance. Like I'm really redoing my lab downstairs. We did the data center, placed everything out, cleaned up. Fortinet, big shout out to Fortinet. Even though we don't condone, sent me another device and an NFR for it. So I'm gonna put that in because it comes with the entire FortiSIM cloud package and everything and the threat intelligence. But I'm having a little bit of WAN impersonation issues with it, similar to what I had with, so that it's WAN port is on the back of the WAN port of my fiber modem, and it's not cloning it like it automatically used to do. But they gave me some instructions, and once they say you get it set up, if you the old Fortinets, you can take the configuration from FortOS, and then you can just put it on there, and it'll configure. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it from scratch because that old Fortinet sort of bad. So that's it. Rod, you were saying you were trying to be nice, but what else had you been doing that you succeeded in?
Let's see. Where should I go? Let's see. Well, I should, because, it's part of my job here at Microsoft. I do need to talk about Microsoft Ignite for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Folks that are tuning in right now, you may notice that it's kind of a nice casual day for us. We had our guest on today. We're going to talk about some certifications and things, but she's sick. Unfortunately, that happens. The other thing is, you might also notice we don't have old Brodie or new Brodie today. Old Brodie's supposed to maybe show up. We'll see what happens. But apparently he couldn't find a bathroom, so he'll be here eventually. And okay, so back to Ignite. Microsoft Ignite, and Ed and I were just talking about this a little bit ago. Ed, did you get approval or did you try yet?
We got approval.
All right, very good. Ed and I will be in Seattle in November for Microsoft Ignite, and we'll be pulling some people in for the show from Ignite as part of the show during that
Rod
week.
Trent, what is Ignite?
What is Ignite? Other than starting a fire, I don't know. I don't know why they called it that. Really, Microsoft Ignite is it's a 4-day. It is. There's a pre-day, and then there's a couple actual in-person days, and then there's also it's hybrid, so there's remote. It is our technical conference. Anyone that's ever in their history ever been to like Tech Ed or MMS or one of those other ones, they were all merged into what we call Microsoft Ignite. This year, so the past couple years, because of COVID, obviously, we've kind of been tentative with Ignite and in-person engagement and things like that. We are this year working extremely hard to ensure that we're getting closer to being back the way Ignite used to be. I can't give you, I know things, I can't give you more details than that, but we are working extremely hard to do that. This year, in fact, we have a very specific security track at Microsoft Ignite, which we've never had before, right? Very specific security track. This is our security event. This track will be our security event for the IT pros and stuff going forward. The pre-day, we actually have 3 or 4 different workshops going on all day. During the pre-day, there is a security workshop, hands-on labs, all the good kind of stuff. We have Intra, we'll be covering Intra, we'll be covering Purview, we'll be covering Defender for Cloud, Defender for Endpoint, and also Microsoft Sentinel as part of that 5-hour pre-day workshop. The unfortunate thing is, I have to say, it's sold out already. The pre-day sold out. And we were concerned, hey, do people really want to come to Seattle and have the in-person experience and start that in-person experience again for Microsoft Ignite? And they absolutely do. That pre-day sold out like really quickly. And I should also note that the full conference, Microsoft Ignite, is very close to selling out as well. So people, if you want to attend this year, get a glimpse of what we're planning for years in the future, you need to register quickly. That's all I can say.
So Andrea, you should come, and if Andrea comes, I will make sure we all have spiffy diffy Microsoft Security Insight shirts.
Yeah,
I will have some. I'll have some.
We'll do it right next to a bathroom so Brodie can attend.
Yeah, and we'll have some swag to give out. A little bit just for those that can, come in and say, hey, I know you guys, and you'll get a shirt. And I'll get to humping on that. I started yesterday. I've been promising to do this for a year, but found a local person, got the image. I got all that stuff vectorized anyway, because that's what they need, an AI file, and then they need it vectorized, Adobe Illustrator. Yeah. So obviously we may or may not wear it during the night. I will. Rod probably can't because he's facilitating the stuff, but I'm gonna wear it and promote everything. And if Andrea or Rod or Brodie want some super cool name on their back to identify them, we can do that too. Andrea, I'll lean on you for the final design. I have zero creativity acumen.
Not true, but Rod, what were the dates again? Remind everybody.
14th through the 17th
of October.
November. Sorry.
November. Okay.
So November in Seattle. Really, ultimately, the only thing that you want to do while you're there is do things inside. So.
Yeah. One thing that when Rob gave a description of a night, Rod, no shade on you. You didn't do a good job. You didn't give enough context.
I was trying to be you know.
Yeah, and because you're in it, you can't really talk about it. Ignite has traditionally been a very technical event where you see a lot of the customers that come. I had the fortunate pleasure of one year they did it in Atlanta. You talking about winning free stuff, everything from Yeti cups to this to that, and everybody wants to give out really good swag. And so you have to also give it a little bit of counter, just not counter, but association with, you had Inspire, which is primarily partners. You had Microsoft Build, Code Geeks, Ignite, customers and partners, because customers are partners, but it's not a partner centric thing. But a lot of techs, a lot of MVPs at Ignite also that come there. You can pick up some, really good PowerShell and Azure Bicep and ARM, stuff like that. And then we had, um, they used to have one for education, and all these are Microsoft centric stuff. Um, the one for education, it was for partners and our customers that were in the education thing. I can't think of the name of it. I actually presented at it about 3 years ago. Andrea, you've been here longer than me. I'm not missing two because some of them have been
There was
deprecated.
MEC. You remember MEC, right?
Yeah.
What was the other one? MMS, Microsoft Management Summit, which
Mm-hmm. But we
anybody
missing a
want to go
big
back
one.
that far?
Yeah, MMS was my first time in Vegas and my first Microsoft convention.
What year was that, by the way? Do you remember?
Oh God, I was still at Raymond James. That was probably 20 years ago.
Probably. So I just as an one of those personal anecdotes.
Yeah, and it'll come to me that we're missing ones. We got partner, we got Inspire, we got Build. Ready was internal only.
Oh right.
And then there was one more, golly. Oh, they used to do DTA.
Oh,
That's the
that's
only
right.
internal micro. Yeah, yeah. That's why I recruited Andrea. I tricked her into joining my team years. It's great. Come on over
Best
here.
thing that ever happened.
And we're in Vegas, I believe. It was so hot.
Here's Noodle's random quote for the week.
Tech Ed.
I will dance for a sticker. Yeah.
Dance for a sticker. Jonathan Robbins, thank you. Tech Ed. Yeah. Yeah, definitely in there. Show could have easily been about that. So Ignite, for those that can make it, not to worry, there is a digital version of it from the 15th through the 17th of November that you can sign up for, a digital pass. And plus, I'm going to bring some, my GoPro or whatever recording device that I have, so that we can show you Microsoft Insights live at, Ignite 2023. Take some pictures, shake hands, have you listen to the show. I may dress up as what was the guy's name? Not the guy, the insult dog. Remember that?
Oh, what was his name? Yeah, the one with the
Yeah, they would insult you.
The cigar. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be there. Cold weather. I need some cold weather anyway.
Hey, I should interject while you're talking about that. Oh, it's Triumph, the insult comic.
Triumph the insult dog.
So this is a hybrid event. So last year, the difference between last year and this year, last year it was hybrid first. It was remote first, right? Everything, anybody wanted to attend. It was a smaller audience in person. This year is in person first. However, those that, can't travel or can't attend in person for whatever reason, maybe their boss won't give them the okay. Everything will actually be recorded, and a lot of the sessions that are in person will be streamed live. So you'll miss the face-to-face, you'll miss being able to, the handshakes and getting swag, but the experience should still be a good one.
Yeah. So let's do this. I think Brodie's more in Discord than anybody on the call. Maybe we should create a Discord channel for Ignite 2023, and if our listeners will come and let us know, and it'll sooner the better. It gives me a better idea of how much how many T-shirts to bring, and that way you can just hand them out and stuff like that, and I think we're way overdue. I got all these computers, and there's not a single Microsoft Security Insight sticker on, and that seems to be a thing, right? So we need to get us a sticker too. Now stickers I can do.
Let me also see. We may be able to get a live audience for the show this time. So
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
because we are that. I don't have my calendar out. That's the
What
14th through the
is that?
17th includes the pre-day. So the 14th is a Tuesday. So there is a good chance that we could do a live show there. I think you may be busy though.
No, I'll be fine. The 15th though is our normal show, so we could actually do that. That looks pretty good.
And maybe snag some people and say, hey,
Yeah.
come do this. So let's yeah, Andrew would love you to come out there. Just hang out.
Well, I was going to
Kind of sort of
say,
have
if
to now.
Rod can get us a fancy suite or something, there's no way anybody's going to pay for my travel. So I could probably get out there on points for airline, but not for
Yeah.
hotel.
I think there's a bunch of tents set up around the conference center. Of course, I don't think that's for
Not
the
funny.
conference. Yeah, sorry.
Zero funny on that.
Sorry.
Let's not do that. Because I've been there and I've seen that, and
Yeah.
that's one of the few things that really bothers me to see people not having adequate shelter. So not that you
Yeah.
knew, just
Oh, I know. I just yeah. Sorry.
Um,
The world's not ready for that comedy.
no, the world is whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, cool thing. So big shout out to Steve Lee from CXE for Defender Experts Hunting, Defender Experts for Hunting, and Defender Experts for Managed XDR. It was one of our highest viewed, highest downloaded,
Yeah.
highest interacted sessions we've had in 6 months to even exceed the Women in Cyber Month, which is going to be a thing every month. I'm gonna surprise Andrea with this. Actually lining up guests for next March already. So reaching out, trying to cover the favors and do this stuff, and I want to do it a little different. I know we were really focusing in on Microsoft individuals, and we had I don't think we had any. I don't think we had anyone who was not Microsoft. Elizabeth was Microsoft also, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I want to do it, and I'm making this up as we go here, and I told none of my co-hosts on this. Let's get females that are out in the industry and those who are in position of leaderships across partner groups, individual contributors, and things like that, right? So we can
Yeah.
let's get a cross section of what their mind share is, because all the stuff sort of came to my head, and I scribbled it down on notes after having Sarah on the call, right?
Yeah.
But because her experience at these Black Hat, DEF CON, and all these things, she had a great time. But from the way she described it, nothing really has changed. It's still you know, the boys club, the He-Man woman haters club, and when you do these things, right? And being a person of color, I hate to go to these things and people see me there and I stand, I'm standing out because I'm just standing out, not purposely, and they assume I'm exceptional. I'm not. I'm just like you. There was nothing special about me doing this other than I've been doing this and I got this. So I don't think we need to break that mind thing of
Yeah.
that person must be the cream of the crop because of the social demographic that they represent to be here. And
We could have my mom on. She falls for every scam available.
don't get me started on that. That's what been one of my aggravations the last month. But anyway, let's do some stuff,
How
have
do
some
you know
fun.
my mom?
Huh?
Just kidding. I said, how do you know my mom? Seriously. Yeah.
Anyway. Um yeah, so let's not let March get up on us. I'd like to have everybody scheduled in February, and I know that's next year, literally. And let's get some diversity. It was great to have Ann and Maria and Vasu and Future, Dara, and Elizabeth on. But let's get outside Microsoft, right? People who don't drink the Kool-Aid, good flavor Kool-Aid, but people who don't drink the Kool-Aid and come onto the show. And not to say that we may not have a Microsoft representation on it, but it won't be the preference. We'll do that, right?
We could probably hunt down some folks at Ignite as well.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys will
Bingo.
some new people. Make some.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, um, Andrea, I can work the floor. hustle up some suckers to come on the show. Tell them this all these things, you do all this, and they'll come on the show. I think we have a book of work that is speaking very well for us as a show, and I like to, elicit feedback from my listeners what we can do better, because we're a little bit of an echo chamber here, right? Among the four of us, we're trying to come up with topics. We try to keep you entertained. We try to provide value. If we don't give you an answer, we'll at least give you, the inquisitive nature to go out and research and go see something. And we're going to get better next year, right? Um, but I like to keep it fun. Let's get some fresh blood on the show, um, and go that route. So back to the defender experts. Um, while I'm up there, I will be participating in whatever necessary. I'm going to be talking to defender experts uh, for hunting and defender experts for managed XDR. And for those who didn't listen to Steve on the last show, it is a first-party security provider service that Microsoft is providing, so that if customers want to, you know, extend their security operations by augmenting it with Microsoft employed threat hunters on a proactive nature, or if you want to totally, co-share or even offload the management of your XDR system, infrastructure system environment, they can do that on a full-time basis also, with a minimum of at least one of the Defender for Experts. Defender, Microsoft Defender products. For example, MDE was the cornerstone, but now the Defender experts can take advantage of MDO, MDI, MDA, and also they're looking at attacks that attack intra, identities. So we can look at those things. Now, Sentinel is considered, but it's not a telemetry feed into Defender experts. It may be soon, so that we can get correlation from what we send in the Defender portal and how it correlates into what Sentinel is seeing by virtue of the data analytics that are coming in and the incidents that it is generating. So I'm sort of working with them to sort of figure out that integration. Um, I'm also working on a couple of things around Defender for Experts, where customers may be able to do proof of concepts with it in a manner that they were used to doing it with Sentinel, right? Proof of concept as a service. So we'll take a look at that. But um, I am now a Defender Experts GBB, so I'm covering the product, so sort of self-serving that I'm talking about it, right? But I think it's a great solution. We've had some partner acceptance of it. I've been meeting with some of the partners that we've had on the show. They don't say there's a competitive product wholly. They like, okay, you know, we can figure out how to work with it. We can we can augment our service with it. We can split deals, because one thing that the Defender Experts does not have, it is not a management for Sentinel. So if anybody's listened to my prior statement, it does not include Sentinel, right? We may consider Sentinel as a source of truth and when we do things, right? But Sentinel's a log aggregator with security intelligence. So that's my bandwagon for Dex. Defender Experts hunting, Defender Experts manage XDR. It's gonna be a thing. And
Yeah.
it is the back way, or not front way, or whatever way. It takes advantage of a security co-pilot as part of its intelligence and the way it works, what the operators work, right? So I know security co-pilot is the new shiny. You'll be able to get a subset of capabilities because it is being used as part of the service that's directly offered to customers that want to consume it. So a lot of evolution going on. So people saying, well, what's the difference between Defender Experts and Security Copilot? We're working on something right now. It'll be available in about 15 days, and we'll showcase it on the show. Here are the differences, and here's the overlap that you have it, right? So I'm working on that.
No, that's awesome.
Yep.
There's a lot of
And
big news items. Yeah.
also, I'll put this out there. Microsoft Managed Desktop, which was a endpoint management solution that
Yep.
customers could onboard with, that is being sunsetted, and the replacement is Defender Experts Manage XDR. So we'll present what the differences are from there and what that transition path looks like to get
I need
from,
to work on that
yeah,
naming.
working on that right now. It's much further along. We're actually selling it to customers right now. I think we've already had 2 customers that transition out of it, and I have a few more customers who won't renew. Um, Microsoft Managed Desktop, and they're going to go ahead and go full into Defender Experts Managed XDR, and it is not currently being resold. And if you're a current customer for MMD, you can renew. We won't force you off the platform, but no more new customers on it. Not coming back.
Trevor's got a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He asks, will any of these things you're talking about be something that can be trialed?
Defender Experts hunting will be the first trial that's being made official. We're working on the conditions for the trial. Remember, it is a service. It is not something you install. You are onboarded, and when you are onboarded, people are actually watching your system, paid employees. So the trials are going to be very specific because we're taking people that are on salary, having them do production real, like you pay for at work, and and then if it doesn't convert into an actual customer, there's an offboarding process, right? So we're working out the nuances of what qualifies you for a trial, and I can't really talk about some of the conditions because I'm sort of, what's the term, embargoed until they make it public or whatever. But yes, at least the Defender Experts hunting will have a trial component of it. The actual managed XDR is a little bit more complex, especially if there are workloads that need to be deployed to take full advantage of it. And that's it. I think that's it.
Well, if we are bragging today, I think we should also brag about we just released the results of the MITRE Ingenuity attack evaluations.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
we
yeah.
demonstrated 100% protection coverage, which I didn't even think was possible. We can put the link to that blog article in the window for sure. So 100% visibility and complete coverage across all stages of the attack for both Windows and Linux. So I think that's pretty exciting. So if you are using our Defender for Endpoint stack, go back and tell your boss that y'all made the right decision.
And not to alienate any of our listeners that may be using CrowdStrike, I believe they had a 20% delayed detection thing, so they actually went a little bit backwards on that MITRE attack. The actual vendors that are in that competitive space, it was some of them I had never heard of, Andrew. Yeah, you were on a call today, I assume, the super internal call.
I was not. I didn't even know there was one.
Ooh. Well, I'll send you and Rod the internal call, the recording of it. Yeah, it's interesting. Now the one that's publicly facing will be available tomorrow, I think. But we can do that too. So Trevor, Kali Linux, yeah, only if you're on an external, landscape attacking devices that are within it. I'll give you a heads up. If you're attacking for the same, CIDR as the machines are sitting on, they're going to look at it and go, oh, these people are trying to red team or pen test at the same time when we're doing it. Probably won't go over well. Probably get your box isolated and contained, right? But I think that you bring an interesting point, Trevor. If we, hold me to this, if we see deliberate attempts at that, you may get your trial halted. If we see it that the customer is trying to red team that purposely, you may have it terminated and waste opportunity to use a good trial. What we're trying to do is look at real world as it's happening now, not what could happen. So we're trying to look at what is your actual environment being subjected to, not, oh, I got someone watching, let me see if they can catch me or not. Because if you get caught, it could affect your ability to consume the product at a later time. So let's not do that. Right. What else? Seems like Andrea and I are the only ones that had good news today, Rod. You're just talking about Ignite.
Yeah. Let's see. I did post a link in here. I wrote a blog article about using Kali Linux and Hydra for attack testing last week. I think it was this past week.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I'll be right back. Show you guys something cool. I'll be right back.
All right.
Mute so you guys
make sure you take your headset off first. We don't want to hear where you're going.
Yeah.
Okay. let's see. Oh, I started another little blog series this week. I don't know if you saw it or not. The
Of course.
Sentinel SOC 101, different attacks and how to approach them. That's something that is kind of lacking in our own documentation. So giving some people some other things to think about. And you and I worked on something a little bit earlier today, Andrea.
Yes, I was so lucky. Rod helped me out. I have a customer who has over 20 different Sentinel instances, and we were trying to get a report breaking down the cost by each Sentinel instance. And Rod figured out how to make the report do what I wanted it to do. So thank
Well, the
you.
reason why I mentioned that is not because of my participation, but hopefully you'll release that so other people can use it as well.
You are right. I should absolutely write a blog about that. That's a great idea.
Should.
And Edward, I was going to tell you too. Did you see there was a Day in the Life of Defender for Experts blog that got published yesterday?
Yeah, I did, and it was sideways because I sort of reviewed it for him, and my name's not anywhere on it. But the interesting one is how the SDMs operate. So when you're onboarded to Defender Experts, you get a service delivery manager. That's sort of acts as your liaison between the product group, and the GBBs to say, hey, how's the service working? They also facilitate, whatever the reporting cycle is. You want monthly reporting, quarterly reporting. So really nice. I got them up reading them now in their entirety, and I made them tabs. I want to read them, and then they have a tech community just like Sentinel and Defender. So join it, and it has more content than I gave it credit for. I mean, there's stuff in it, right? I didn't know. But speaking of your article, Hydra. So this is one of the shirts that I race in. We have a competitive team within Black Men Run. So BMR, 2 Tango Papa stands, Black Men Run to the podium. And so my code name when I race. There you go, the Hydra.
Is that because if someone chops off one head, the other?
It's because I got multiple skills. I got endurance, stamina, speed.
Got it all. Yep. What's your weakness? There has to be one weakness.
Modesty, of course.
I was about to say confidence until I tell you I ran a race this weekend, and about mile 1.5, this young lady ran away from me like I was standing still. We ran the racetrack or race for recovery here in Atlanta Braves Stadium. We at mile 1.5, we hit the hills to climb back up to the battery where the Atlanta Braves finish, and then you come into the stadium and you run around center field to home plate, I believe. At mile 1.5, she came up, she paused, and pulled away. And believe me, there was effort for me to keep up. Could not keep up.
Huh.
Just went away. She ended up taking 7th. Wow. I took 12th.
I do that when I I get out and haven't taken my bathroom break before I start running.
I get up early, man, and get a mile or 2 in the sweat. And I heard you, Andrew. Modesty. Thought you gonna get away with it. I heard you. I was gonna say something similar, like overconfidence, right? When you get out there, because running's one of those things. You can't look at someone and just assume what they're.
Oh, you can't. No.
Yeah, the body type. Why can be an indicator. You always assume a lean person, just super fat. Internal conditioning is not always manifested physically, right? I'm telling you, just pulled off, and it was two. It was 2 of them. The younger young lady, they were running in pairs. She finished 6th. So I went and looked at the ages, and our running partner finished 8th, and she was. One was 25 and one was 37. Both of them just pulled away.
I was gonna say there's a big difference between 25 and 55 for sure.
Yeah, I felt good though. I took 12th. One of the other BMR guys on the compete team, Ernest, took 10th. And a big shout out to you, Ernest. I don't, he's not a cybersecurity guy. He stopped and checked on me at mile 2.5 because I tweaked my hamstring running up the hill,
Mm.
and he would have saved about 5 seconds. But that's how our organization worked. Until someone said you're all right, you stay with him. I said, man, go. Don't wait on me. This is my transmission slipping. Once I get up the hill, it'll stable out. And but no, you guys can tell I'm passionate about running. It's one of those things that you can actually get out and compete. You can tell where you are. You know,
Yeah.
it's like boxing. You can lie all you want. Once you get in the ring,
That's right. Yeah.
you'll be found out.
My oldest son set some in high school, set some Ohio state records for the 400. He's like a 46 something in the 400.
Wow.
Yep. But he's like, but he's 6'5", and he's got really long legs.
46 gets you scholarships and gets you looked at.
It did. He got a scholarship and then got injured the first year and couldn't run anymore. And they took care of him, and then they kept his scholarship. But
to run below 60 seconds in one lap around the track means that you really work out a little bit. To run less than 60 seconds mean that you put effort into it. But if you're running 400 meters in less than 50 seconds, you are flat out running.
yeah,
Ain't nobody's jogging here. Right? They come out the blocks you're going. 46 is impressive. The fastest I've ever run it was 53.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if your son ran a 46 and I ran a 53, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 50, he's 7 seconds. 7 seconds at that pace mean he beat me by 15 meters.
Yeah, he was pretty fast.
That's a first down in the NFL for you guys. So, right.
That's all imaginary measurements as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's hard to make it relative. It's 15 meters, I guess, would be probably where you were standing in line before the Barbie box office opened.
Probably. Actually, I'm going to watch it.
I'm going to too. I've been waiting for it. I'm so bad. It's available to purchase. And I'm like, I really don't want to buy this thing. I don't want to own it, but it's going to be a while before it's like on, Netflix.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I want to watch it. I heard that it wasn't just a movie to have something done. It put effort behind it, money behind it.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be hilarious. I've heard it's just really good. So,
well, I will give you my movie reviews of the week. So I went to see My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3.
Oh, wow.
No one needs to go see it.
So did they get divorced between each movie and then just get remarried? Is that what happened?
Different generations of
oh.
Greeks. But it's honestly, it's pretty bad. Then I went to see The Equalizer 3 with Denzel, and it's Denzel in Southern Italy, two things that I adore. So if you love an Equalizer movie, you'll be very happy with it. And this weekend is The Expendables. My sister loves any movie where people are punching each other, so we will be going to see, might be Expendables 4 or 5 at this point, but
I think it's 5 because they changed the S with a 5, I think, in the middle, sort of play with the words a little bit. I like movies like that they're not trying to convince me they deserve an Oscar. They're just here to entertain me.
Yeah,
right?
You don't have to think about them. Yeah.
I think about it. Now, Mission Impossible went overboard.
I haven't seen that yet.
I'm a Tom Cruise fan. When he really wants to apply his craft, it seemed like he was more into himself in this movie. Because if you go to the movie, in the pre-movie thing, they show him interviewing with the director. He looks haggard. And like maybe the pandemic, you saw some things where he was going off on a cast because of COVID and someone wasn't taking protocols.
He's like 110 years old, though.
He's got to be at least 105.
Yeah.
He's younger than y'all.
He's been eating the Dick Clark cereal.
I mean, and I think he doesn't want to give up the persona of physical superiority. Who am I one to talk? But the stuff that he did, like, man, people in their prime cannot do this. What are you taking? Some of that super soldier stuff? Remember Universal Soldier?
I do remember that. That was Dolph Lundgren.
and Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Oh, right.
who was every woman's heartthrob. He was like George Michael that could fight. That's what he was, right? And I watched the movie with him in the other day, man, and he was very entertaining when he was in his heyday.
Yeah.
Um, I was watching what's the one they fight and they had the glass on their hands. And
That was I watched that recently.
I did too.
Um,
He came on. I said, let me watch this.
Kickboxer? No.
No,
Well, I will say I will disagree with you because, like, The Rock has a writer, and this is all Hollywood gossip. I have no idea if this is true, but right, he can never be beaten in a movie. He has to win every single fight.
that is
And
true.
several fights where Tom Cruise has gotten his ass kicked, and I think even sometimes by a woman. So I would say that Tom Cruise, certainly he wants to prove that he can run as fast as he did at 30, but he will still let his ass get kicked in a movie.
And I will agree with you, Miss Fisher, on that. He has made
Bloodsport.
it a point to do as many of his own stunts as he could, and you'll not, and it's not gossip. It is 100% factual that actors like The Rock, Statham, when they fought, they had contracts on how many punches could land, who could lose, and that's a real thing. You know, they won't take a movie where they're not coming out on top. And it was a show on NPR or something. They were talking about it that the contract would say he can't be hit in the face. He, he, he can never uh, be at a disadvantage more than this alone. It's just crazy how they want to protect their images, right? And they do these things, right? Um, but you're right. I resent it. Tom Cruise, he does his he does his own
I
stuff.
mean, because think about Edge of Tomorrow. I don't know if y'all saw Edge of Tomorrow, the one where
That
Emily
was
Blunt.
freaky. Yeah.
Right, but I mean, he played the girl's part. That was the girl part, right? Emily Blunt played, the hero, and he was
Yeah.
the support to Emily Blunt. So
Mm.
Yeah.
Now I'm a fan of Tom. I mean, to the tight to
Wondered
the
why I was yeah.
him sliding across the floor in his tidy whities with his glasses. I get it. I may go do it after this actually.
It was Kickboxer, by the way. Was the one with
Kickboxer. Yeah,
glass on his hands.
yeah.
I know you guys are not here to have our discussion of movies, but
Oh,
Well, I
what
listen.
other technology things can we
we're
talk
no,
about?
we're real people too.
So Trevor, I am doing that right now. I think I talked about it 2 shows ago. Trevor Smith came on and said, start using Defender for Identity module for Active Directory certificate service. Once again, habitual overcommitter. I have MDI running. I was going to create a separate certificate server to do it. And I think I started scratching my head around, do I do separation of roles? Do I put a certificate server on a domain controller, which I don't believe is best practice at all, at least not the primary. But I need to stand up a certificate server, and I just never got around to spinning up a Windows 2022 server and putting CS on it. Thanks for the reminder. I'll go do it and maybe take some screenshots. I got all the lab redone downstairs. All the machines have been updated. Still using an old version of ESX, but all the machines are really, really running. So I was going to get rid of that box. One of our listeners, I was going to give it to him. He never followed up, so I decided to keep it. And I'll do that. So give me a couple of weeks and call me out if I haven't got it done, Trevor. But I have the machine built up. I just need to install the role on that machine. Um, Actually, no, I don't. I take that back. I had 2012 and I didn't want to use 2012 R2 or 2016. I wanted 2022 data center with the GUI. Who installs Windows without having the GUI on it? Who's a glutton for punishment?
It's called Linux.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is hard to.
back in the server days, we did some. Back when
Oh,
you're managing a zillion servers.
AS400. Yeah.
it's hard, but I heard that there is a little software program that will create a temporary GUI that'll sit on top of what do they a core? They still call it core install, right? No GUI. That'll create you a minimized experience that's GUI light, but not obviously not all the full features in it. I was reading somebody's blog post about it, but I did it out of funs and giggles. Uh, no, delete VM, start over. Could not get around. Didn't know what I was doing. You know, so so GUI for Ed, right? Go that route. Um, What else we got? Trouble, start talking detail, notes on making a tier 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, and tier 6 PKI. Yeah, yeah. Well, Trevor, come on the show then. You doing all these cool things. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Come on the show.
I'm hoping that's a joke, but
Yeah, he put a smiley face on it. Yeah, come on the show. We have a person saying, "Can I ask an alerting KQL question on this form?" Rod said, "Absolutely. What's the Q?" The Q is you're missing the K and the L that go in front behind of it, Rod.
Good one. That's great.
Oh,
You're still at the top of your game. I love it.
love the dad jokes.
Nah, I am a dad. Old dad too. Man, my birthday's next month. He says he's dead serious. Don't be dead, Trevor.
Dead serious. He's taking notes.
We're fond of you. Be live serious. Don't be dead.
Yeah.
Please. We need you around.
We have
Sure,
nothing else.
Sure. Go ahead and ask the question.
Waiting for yeah.
Well, I'm gonna butcher the name. Go Labahan? Zibolan. I don't know. Ask your questions.
Waiting for the question. And if we can't answer it here, be happy
The
to
GitHub is always
connect
place to do
afterwards.
that as well. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get more LinkedIn in-mails than I do actual emails. So
I do too. Little attaboys, love the show. Love Andrea on the show. I think something rare. She's no nonsense.
yeah,
You
why
know?
can't one of them? Why can't you get Andrea to talk more?
Like she's no nonsense. She empty banter.
Yeah, she just shakes her head at us. So.
She's judging us.
That's not true. I would say, honestly, a bunch of times I'm multitasking. I will not lie.
But what you have done, sorry to cut you off, you've adjusted your office because you're not square in front of it anymore. So you shifted your camera. There's no glare anymore. So that's pretty cool. And then she's showing off her little books and pictures and everything like there. Awards. You know, I don't have any awards. The only thing I got is a little miserable cup right here. You know, that's all I got.
I will tell you what one of my friends sent me, which is super cute. My little friend sent me a little Wonder Woman.
Hey.
That's cool.
Hey.
So if you're into comic books, and I know some of you are, they restarted the Wonder Woman series this past issue, this past week.
Really?
Back at number 1, and they've taken a whole brand new different tact, which is kind of interesting.
I am a subscriber of DC Universe Ultimate, as well as Marvel for Comic, and I am a comic book fanatic, as well as I am a Dungeons and Dragons addict. My guilty pleasure is playing Baldur's Gate and going on to Twitch channels to watch people play live action Dungeons and Dragons and role playing. And if you name a Dungeons and Dragons book, I spent $700 getting all the books from back in the day. And then the books came. When I opened them up, they smelled old, and then papers were falling out where people were running campaigns and had wrote notes and everything on them. So
that may have been Trevor's notes.
Oh, so here's a question. I want to create an alert using the duration of a task that's been running. If it has not been run more than 6 hours, you trigger an alert table that is Azure Diagnostics, and the field is that. So to that question, I don't have a direct answer to it, but there is a workbook that will alert if data has not come into an expected table in a certain amount of time. I actually
He wants it the other way. He wants to know if it has run for more than 6 hours.
Yeah. So it's a performance thing.
Yeah. That shouldn't be too hard to do a start time minus a current time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do that as long as there's data and it's the right table. Absolutely. I'll if you hit me on LinkedIn InMail, then I'll show you how to do it.
And the table has to be existent. It won't do a table creation. So I'm assuming that that table does exist, and the schema represents. I mean, the log ingestion represents that table in there, because if you put if not exist and create, then the table never existed, right?
Yeah. Andrea wants to play show and tell. What do you have this week?
You said awards. I've got my 10-year award.
Woohoo!
Even though I'm at like 11 and a half.
Wow.
But let me tell you, this is the kind of thing that in a murder mystery, someone would come and I would crack them on the head with this, and then they would find it because it's such an unusual shape. And it weighs like, actually, I don't think I could use this to beat someone on the head because it weighs like 30 pounds.
Wow.
Wow.
And I have nowhere to put it. So it stays in its box.
Doorstop, right? It looks like dilithium crystal, so you could power a warp core with it. That's what it looks like. All our Star Trek guys. Um, Andrea gave me an idea. She said murder mystery. I know we have KQL detective, and I know we have who hacked, but you know what we
Yeah.
should do? Just and Andrew will probably be great at this. We should create an escape room experience that you have to be able to tech your way out.
Oh, that's a cute idea.
And you got to have some skills in networking, system admin, scripting, and the clues would be to unlock this, blah, blah, blah. What is this to la, la, la? And then they have to write the KQL query. And then it was like, okay, now this virtual thing open up, you get a key. And this key is a PowerShell script. And the key won't fit. So how do things that bored people do, right?
That would be good.
Who either one of you been to an escape room before?
Yes, they're awesome. Yeah.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get to figure out who. I was about to say something.
Well,
here,
you get to
uncharitable.
you get to figure out who in your group is can't get it. Yeah.
I was about to
That's the
say
nicest
something.
way to say it.
Yeah,
I would not want to be marooned with them on a desert island. Yeah.
yeah, and they're actually fun. Maybe we should do that. Maybe that's a stretch project for us to create something
So
like
we
that.
have and after we create it, so next week, we have Maria back on the show with the Minecraft people next week, showcasing the Minecraft cybersecurity module. That's something we could approach her with. That if we come up with it, we could create something real. So
Yeah, and put people in teams. I think it'll be
yep.
to maintain the spirit of the physical experience. We don't allow individuals. You have to have a team,
Yeah.
right? And that way you go out and we could create a list of skill sets necessary to get out.
Yeah. You need a security person. You need an architect. You need
A developer.
yeah.
Um, I haven't thought of much past that.
IT pro, general, IT generalist,
Um, yeah,
and the CISO who makes all of the. They have to go. Okay, I'm
yeah.
getting.
CISO would
ahead
be
of myself.
great. The CISO would be great because you put the decision making on go left or right, and
Yep.
if the person chooses wrong, you have to start over.
Or you get a new CISO. You fire them.
That's the easy.
Like the real world.
Yeah,
That's the
like
real
real
world,
world.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So he said the tables exist. So
Yeah.
It's good. So our team was thinking about, we've changed the way we name these attack groups and these attack sequences, right? So two of the most recent ones were Midnight Blizzard and Sangria Tempest. And there's another one that's called like Peach something. And I was saying I'm like, they sound delicious. And I was like, why don't we make them sound so good? I said, I would totally have a Midnight Blizzard after drinking Sangria Tempests with my friends. So we decided that we would start creating a cocktail each time when we have one of these new ones. So we're going to create a Sangria Tempest cocktail and then put them into a little, compilation of recipes and then make $1 zillion. So
You could make a game out of that too. Playing cards, right? Depending on which one you choose, you have to drink that.
Aren't you a little old for that, Rod?
I was saying, I'm trying to be nice. I did that for you all.
I'm yanking your chain. Hey man, don't try. Be who you are. Let your free flag fly.
That is who I am all day long.
Yeah.
I try to be nice. Yeah.
All right, me too. I'm not using the fist of death. There you go. And all the time you have Minecraft zombies trying to get into the room. That's a good idea, pirate. Yeah, because there's no sense of urgency to get out unless we tell you if you don't get out of here, you're going to be surrounded by, data eating zombies.
Pirate Tomsky needs to attend live next week because we will be demoing the cybersecurity Minecraft module, and there are zombies.
There are zombies. Make sure that you tune in next week. As we get ready to close the show out, golly, we filled up almost an hour with us, and I think it was probably one of our better shows. Our guest was Original guest was Beth Biscoff from Microsoft, who was going to talk about the life and times of someone trying to achieve a Sans GX cert. Unfortunately, she got very ill. She got sick. Not ill. Ill seems to be time limits, right? You kicking out. And she's graciously agreed to come back on October 11th to talk about her experience studying, commitment to be able to pass the Sans GX, and big shout out to Frank Grimberg, one of the originals creator of this podcast, who has a lot of saying Jack certs. That's his thing. He believes that's the standard. I will be embarking on starting mine October 1st. I'm trying to pass the uh, security 508 exam,
Hmm.
for endpoint forensics. Andrea, you probably kill it. That's what you do. But Franklin actually informed me that they updated and redid the exam, so it's new now. He said he may go back through it and recertify on the new platform, even though it's not due for a recert. Um, it's not easy. Um, I battled this SEC 555 and came up 1 point short, right? My experience was not that the test was unpassable. I took it for granted, and majority of the certification designations within Sans GAC are open book. Open book will fail you. You will fail. And they know you're going to run out of time trying to go through 7, 8 books. So when Beth comes on, we'll talk about her approach. Maybe I'll give a little bit of my approach, which probably is not valuable since I didn't pass. And we'll see. But this time I will not lose. I'm going to win. Right.
Well, I will tell you this too. Y'all must have had your moms must have been much nicer because my mom was only let me be absent from school if I was bleeding or throwing up, and Beth was doing neither of those things. So I think she could have made it. But
She tried. I'll take the hit on this. I talked to her. She sounded like I can't even understand you. You rasping and this and that. I want to come on. It's like because I knew she was sick since Monday, but to hear her today, and plus she's out of the office. She's like, I'm not working. I can't. That is the perils of having little kids that go to school and bring home petri dishes, in their backpacks. And you do that. Question: does anyone know if there are plans to change the SC300 exam now that Azure AD is intra? Uh, I got a little bit of insight on that. I talked to Franklin. They're not going to be major. Um, they don't want to make a superficial change just to change the naming of it and without having some content change. So they're trying to combine getting people used to the name intra ID versus some of the features that are new features that are part of that. He couldn't give me much more detail because friends of the show know what Frank does. He contributes to a lot of the Microsoft exams, so he has to be shut mouthed about it. But there are some changes to it. Yes, that was coming from Bunt Videos. Yep. And Rod gave the better answer. Yes, short and simple.
That's non-committal. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's happening. I did renew my cert for the What is the Microsoft 365 Security Associate? That is the MS. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I had until the 20th to get it done. Um, and it's just a 25 renewal online. I'm not going to pretend that you do it. People have another browser open, they search. You cannot find the right answer with just search. It's like an open book. It's the MDA questions, and I consider myself a MDA or Microsoft Cloud App Security expert. It was 3 things I did not know about that. Here's one. How long will it take for Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps to report that the SIM integration is down? 2 hours, 24 hours, 72 hours, 96 hours. And I'm not giving away anything. It's going to be, if you research, you're going to do it. And no, not that. 2 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, or whatever else. It is buried in that. Trevor, I thought 24 hours. Nope. I can't get an answer. Go do it. I don't want to get myself in trouble and risk my certification. That is not the answer. MS 500. Oh, that's what it is, Trevor. MS 500. So I renewed my MS 500. Um, it's a good test. Um, you're gonna get a taste of everything. I absolutely bummed everything that was Purview. Bummed it.
Yeah. That's my kryptonite right now. Purview. I need to get a lot better on that.
It ain't something you have to do. It's deep.
Yeah.
To the security and compliance GBBs that are friends and peers. You know, Nancy, Ingrid that's been on the show. Both of them. You know, shout out to you. I'm missing one more. Natalie been on the show. They're security and compliance GBBs. They are deep, and that product is deep and wide. It is. You cannot.
Yeah,
So,
Purview is going to be one of our solutions for AI security, the governance stuff. So.
it has to be because if I can impersonate a AI identity, and you can't really tell, sort of got you right. Also, a big shout out to Matt Soseman for having a good conversation with me last week. We talked. We had a meeting scheduled for like 30 minutes, and we actually went out an hour and a half. I learned a lot about that gentleman. Big shout out to the partner masters. They're doing absolutely well. They're killing it. If you have not had a chance to follow Matt Soseman on some of his stuff, you probably need to consume some of his material. Um, him and um, Justin Slagle, I believe that's the right name, Andrew. Justin, right?
Yep.
Slagle.
Yep.
They're absolutely doing the good work and making our partners better. If you're a partner on the show and you're not using the partner masters, we're not being endorsed. This is strictly two peers and friends. I'm promoting them. You need to take a look at it. As good as you think your partnership is, it can be better. Period. Right. Trevor's doing a lot of Purview. So now we got you coming on talking about all the tinkering you're doing. Now Trevor Smith is going to come on and talk Purview. He just keeps volunteering. And Pirate. All I've been doing for months is MS Purview. Well, we'll have dueling pianos. You and Trevor will be doing Purview, right? And do that.
Ebony and Ivory. Yeah.
Yep. Hey, we're at 5:03. This has been one of our more livelier conversations. We went tech. We went trendy. We went back tech. We went cultural pop. We went back tech, and we went personal. So it's good. I got to go eat some food, man. I haven't eaten anything all day. I'm feeling goofy. I'm hungry.
I grabbed some cashews between our little talk before the show and the show. That's all I had time for.
I'm hangry right now.
I don't know how y'all do it. I'm always thinking it. Breakfast, what am I going to have for lunch? Lunch, what am I going to have for dinner? I don't know how anybody forgets to eat, but I know you do. So go eat.
I gotta eat. Thanks everyone for coming on the show. Same time next week. Actually, it's not the same time next week. It's 5.
A little bit later because it's Redmond, folks. Yeah.
Yep. And we really appreciate the support, the listenership, the viewership. Any of our listeners and viewers are welcome to come on the show. Submit your ideas and topic. We'll have you on. You know, you're not so much of a consumer of the show. You are the show. So we really appreciate everyone for that. Please go back and well, to really watch this show, but when we have interesting and folks who really want to make it visual, like next week will be, check us out on YouTube. We appreciate everybody. Thank you. Have a great day.
Next week.
Guys, bye.
Bye.